Okay, so today is October 11th, and the topic of today's reading from the book Affirmations for the Inner Child by Rocker Learner is Limits. Today I will welcome my limits. Today I will set some limits in my life. Just because my family lived in chaos doesn't mean I have to. I once rebelled against the very idea of limits. To me, they seemed like the walls of a prison. Now I see that far from imprisoning me, limits give me a framework within which I am free and safe to explore, without being held in the confines of its banks. A river could not flow to the sea. Without limits, life is chaos. Today I will welcome my limits. They free me to be me. So, well, yes, that is the reading of today, which it's basically telling us, right? More than limits, right? Or limitations. Perhaps the correct word would be boundaries, or how do we define ourselves, right? What makes us what we are, right? Physically, emotionally, mentally, right? Uh, Intellectually, right? Uh, it is important, right, to know thyself, right? Do you have to call it like a limit? Like, is it that what you are, your limitations? Because if you're completely free in theory, you would say that, well, then you become non existent. Because when you're free out of boundaries, you have no limitations, right? There are no way in which you can take a shape or a form. That could be debatable and that could be analyzed, right? So that's why freedom, although it's a very uh, how would you say that, altruistic perhaps, or an idea worth uh, striving for, it's unattainable because we're not free people, right? We're not free entities. We are bound to our limitations, right? Does that make slavery okay? Well, no, perhaps, but that forces us to live in communities, right? Being social entities, right? In which we have to help each other because we have limitations. It has a lot of implications, right? In what reality is, right? So, yes, in our own way, I mean, we cannot fly, for example, right? And that's a limitation. We cannot breathe underwater. We cannot live underwater. And that's a limitation too. So it is important, right? It is important to know in what reality is the one that we're living in, right? A bird sees the world in a very different way, as much as a fish sees the world in a very different way, right? Their world is completely different than ours. It has different rules, different laws. Their perception of reality is completely different, right? So, in any case, that's pretty much the reading of today. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, leave any comments below, subscribe to the channel, share through social media, and as always, if Providence allows it, we will meet each other in a different day.